Hi, good morning, good morning, good morning, Dr. Vern, Touchdown Thursday. How are you this morning? Good morning. Good morning. How are you this morning? Touchdown Thursday. Dr. Vern here. Come on in and join me. Come on in and join me. Today is September the 9th. Turn this down just a tad bit. It is Touchdown Thursday, and I am so excited. You say excited about what, Doc? I'm excited about being alive. Yes. I am excited about being alive. Touchdown Thursday, Dr. Vern here. Come on in and join me. Come on in and join me. But don't just join me by yourself. Tell someone else that we're here. Let them know that we're here and that we're sharing good stuff. We are sharing good stuff. Come on in. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. I see you guys. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. So glad you're joining me this morning for Touchdown Thursday. Again, Dr. Vern here, and I'm standing on the promises that I've been standing on all year. Year is almost over. It is September the 9th. Yes, September the 9th, and we're about to enter into a new season. We're going to be talking about that. But today, I wanted to keep my promise and talk to you again about talking too much. I'm able, you can hear me today, right? Because the last time we had that technical difficulty and you really couldn't hear. So just give me a thumbs up if everything is okay. Okay. Just give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. If you can hear me, okay. Let me know. But again, Touchdown Thursday. Today is September the 9th. And I am so glad. Thank you. Thank you, Erica. I am so glad. I am so glad to see all of you. Thank you so much for your faithfulness. Thank you so much for loving yourself enough to just come on in, to just rise up. And even if you're getting ready to go to work, or you're getting ready to go to school, or you're getting the children ready, whatever you're doing in your devotion, you pause, you take a moment to stop by to get your inspiration and your motivation. I thank God for you. You don't know how much I thank God for you. And I'm going to do something special for you because I know who you are. I know who you are. God bless you. But tell somebody else that they just need a nugget. They need a nugget in the morning, and they can find it right here on Touchdown Thursday, Touchdown Tuesday, Touchdown Thursday, Pound Real Talk. We talk real life situations here. We talk truths here, and we try to break down barriers here. But not only that, we try to provide nuggets that you can build your bridge so that you can travel to your destination, because everybody's got a destination. Each one of us, we have a destination. God is with us, right? Because God is in us. God is with us because God is in us. You believe that, right? You believe that. They that dwell in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadows of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my fortress. He is my refuge. He is my God. In Him will I trust. You see, because I trust God, I never lose. I either win or I learn. I never lose, and neither do you. You never lose either. You either win or you learn, right? You either win or you learn. Again, so happy to be alive this morning. You know what? I don't know where I'm going to be in the next 10 seconds, but guess what? Neither do you. So let's give it to God while we have the opportunity. I just want to come to you this morning and briefly share with you one of the touchdowns a couple of Tuesdays ago, and the sound was kind of, and I don't know what happened. I'm not going to even try to explain it, but there were some technical difficulties there. But we were talking about the fact that sometimes we talk too much. How many of you have ever been around people that talk extremely too much? How many? How many have been around people who just don't know when to be quiet? And you can tell they're not listening to you, because you can't get a word in edgewise. You can't get a word in edgewise because every time you try to get a word in, they interrupt you, or they abruptly just change the subject. They talk all over you. It's like running over you. I mean, just trampling over you. And from a psychological perspective, there can be problems associated with that, why people do what they do. But a lot of times it's just being unconscious and unaware of what's happening because we haven't applied certain principles to our own selves, to our own lives. Sometimes we talk so much until we get ourselves in situations that we didn't have to be in. We find ourselves in dire straits that we didn't have to be in. We have talked ourselves into a corner that we didn't have to be in, only because we never learned how to be quiet. Are you talking too much? Are you talking too much? Are you talking too much, and are you revealing too much? See, that's another thing. And talking too much, you may be revealing too much. Are you revealing too much? Are you talking too much? Are you revealing too much? Do you hear only your voice? You can sometimes only hear your voice, and that's great to hear your voice and be aware of what you sound like and those things that you are articulating. But you can learn so much more from others than you can from yourself. So it's important that you learn how to listen. Many of us have never learned how to listen. We've just learned how to talk, and we just keep going and going and going. I have seen situations that would never have exacerbated to the level that they've exacerbated to if people would just learn to be quiet. Many of our arrests that occur on the street today, and we're not talking about good cop, bad cop. We're not talking about angels and devils. We're talking about tongues. We're talking about dismembering the body. We're talking about the fact that sometimes if you would just be quiet. How many times have you ever experienced from your mom? Your mother said, "Didn't I tell you just shut up, be quiet?" And we want to keep talking until we saw those 5 fingers coming. I know. I know. That's me. That's me. I was told to be quiet, and I just had to keep going and keep going. She said, "I'm going to tell you to shut your mouth one more time if you say one more word." And you know what I had to do? I know y'all know what I'm talking about. You had to say that one more word, right? And, and as a result, the aftermath. The aftermath. How many of you found yourselves in situations where you regretted what you've said? You've actually regretted it. Oh my goodness, I hate I said that. I wish I hadn't said that. Well, you found yourself just going on and on and on and on until you say too much. You say what's not been asked. You answer what's not been asked. If someone tells you to stop, you say, "Why do I have to stop? I got a right to keep walking. I don't have to stop because you told me to stop." Just stop. Just be still. Just be quiet. Can't do that. And then it becomes something huge and out of control. People have lost positions and lost jobs. You see it happening over and over and over again on television, where people have gone back and discovered what someone has said. And as a result of what they've said, they don't feel that they will be a good fit for their program or for the jobs that they have been accepted for, hired into. When they look back and review some of the things that they've said from their mouths, it canceled them out. It disqualified them. I want you to be careful about talking too much. The tongue is a member in the body that is fire. The tongue is fire. It's a fire. It's a fire. It's a small member, but it's a fire. The book of James, chapter 3, verse 6 tells us that the tongue is a fire. It's a world of unrighteousness. Yeah, the tongue is a world of fire. It is a fire. It's a world of unrighteousness. The tongue is set among other members of the body, but it stains the whole body. Such a little bitty member of the body can contaminate and stain the whole body. It is a fire. It consumes. It destroys. Yeah. It says it sets on fire the entire course of life. And set on fire by hell. Your tongue can cause a whole bunch of hell. Look, there's an old saying, and I didn't come up with this saying, but it's an old saying, and I don't know who to credit with it, but it says, "Loose lips sink ships." Loose lips sink ships. Just because you're talking doesn't mean you're heard, but just because you're talking doesn't mean that your words are impactful. And just because you're talking doesn't mean people are not taking inventory. People hear everything you say. They will advantage their decision that they want to make about you. Your tongue can be dangerous. Learn to be quiet. Learn to be still. Understand that just because you say it Just because you say it doesn't mean that it's so. And just because you shared it doesn't mean that you should. We find ourselves sharing more information and we hurt ourselves personally. We hurt ourselves professionally. We hurt ourselves spiritually. Yes, we do. And we find ourselves sharing and talking more in situations such as anger. When we're angry, we talk too much. We begin to say things that we would normally have some restraint about and would not readily say or do, and we find ourselves just speaking it and just keep going and going. And have you noticed that when you're angry, the more you say, the more you want to say. It's like you're getting fuel. The Bible says it's like a fire. A fire is consuming. If you notice, the more you say, the more you want to say, the more you gotta get out. The more you get out, the more you want to get more out. And the more you say, the more you say. And the worse it gets, the worse it gets. Anger will provoke you to talk too much. Oversharing. Something happens and, you just got to tell somebody. You got to have somebody to talk to. It's been a while because we've been doing Touchdown since 2018, June 2018, consistently the same way. And I'm not saying that change is not a good thing. It is a good thing, but consistency is even better. We've been doing this since June of 2018, and we've discovered so many and talked about so much, so many subjects we've discovered, so many areas and so many tools we've added to our toolbox. And one of them was that we have to be careful that we don't overshare. We want to share the good things, but we are not being careful at who we're sharing it with. So we began to talk because we have to tell someone. And I recall sharing with you that one thing you need to learn to do is to be quiet and get to know yourself. Be quiet, be still, and get to know yourself and begin to tell yourself all about it. Sometimes the only ears that need to hear what you oversharing are your own ears. So you be careful. That's one of the situations you too can find yourself talking too much. When you're angry, when you want to overshare, and also when you're providing too much information. When you're providing information and you begin to provide too much information. People may ask you what color is the car. Your car may be white. Instead of you saying the color of my car is white, you said the color of my car is white, but it has 4 doors and it has 4 tires and it has windshield. No one asked you any of that. They simply asked you, what color is the car? How many children do you have? I have 4 children, and one of them is a dropout. One of them is on drugs. One of them went to college, and the other one, no one asked you that. They simply asked you, what was the number of children that you have? Learn to hear. But the person who overtalks and talks too much is one who doesn't hear because he doesn't or she doesn't listen. In order to be careful of how you speak and to have some constraint, you will have to be able to listen. Listen to what's being asked of you and only give that information. I say to many people all the time, if you went to court, you would go to jail for life and they only wanted to question you in a possible witness scenario. But you will begin to talk and tell so much, they'll put you in jail. Be careful of how much you talk. Another situation that you find yourself in and you overtalk is when you're gossiping. So now we've talked anger, oversharing, providing too much information, and gossiping. When you're gossiping, you talk too much. You talk about things that you shouldn't. You talk about people that you shouldn't. You say things that you shouldn't. You reveal stuff that was asked of you to be, what? A secret. Someone asked that you not tell that. Or you heard something that you know that's going to be detrimental to this person's image or identity. But you got to open your mouth and you got to tell somebody. Men are as guilty of gossip as women are of gossip. Talking too much has no gender assignment. I've seen some brothers that can get really busy and I'm like, will you do? Really? I've seen some sisters that get really busy and I'm like, now I don't think that was supposed to be told. I will get in a conversation with people and they begin to talk about certain things. I say, yeah, we're going to get off of that. I will not even allow it to enter into my spirit. Not because I am a perfect individual. It's because I too am imperfect. And I don't want anything planted in my spirit that could take take root and grow. So I cancel it. I cancel it when I see it coming. And that's what you got to begin to do. You got to cancel the temptations when you see them coming. Another situation where we find ourselves talking too much is when we're down in the valley. Oh, come on. Y'all know what I'm talking about. When we're down in the valley, we find ourselves talking too much. Am I right? Y'all know I'm right. Y'all should just help me out. Y'all should help me out this morning. When you're down in the valley, you talk too much. What do you mean, Doc? When you're feeling low or when you're going through. When it's just not right. When you're in a place of lowliness. Lodabar. You're in that low place. And you just feel like that you got to tell somebody, because if you don't tell somebody, if you don't talk about it with someone, it's just going to destroy you. And perhaps that's so. But let me caution you. You better find someone that you can talk to that you know that is bound, number one, by morals and values. But if they're not bound by morals and values, by profession and legally bound, I can't share anything you share with me except that you tell me you're going to kill somebody. I am bound by law to tell that. I cannot allow you to walk out and go kill someone, and I know and I have that information. Anything else you tell me, I have to keep to myself. We have to work it out, and we do. I do not carry that information because I'm bound legally not to do it, but more importantly, I am bound spiritually. I am bound spiritually. But things you tell me will go to my grave. I know some things that people have told me and they are dead. They are dead right now. And I still and will never, ever reveal it just because they're no longer here to suffer the repercussions, because they have family, they have friends. Stop talking so much. How much do you really have to say? Be careful, because God is not pleased with a diarrhea tongue. God is not pleased with one who doesn't know how to be still and to be quiet. You don't have to agree this morning, but I know this is right. I know it's right. We have to learn not to talk so much, because in the end, we lose. In the end, we don't win. We don't win. We don't win. We don't. We don't win. So I want you to be careful to think about that. Be careful. If you want to know how to speak less, listen more. If you want to make sure you're speaking to the right one, watch more. Speak only when it's important. Don't speak unless it's important. Avoid speaking to fill empty space. If you're sitting in a space and there are people there and nobody's talking, don't feel that you're the one that has to talk. You don't have to initiate that conversation. You don't have to. You can be still. People have started talking at work in meetings, and they start talking about the wrong thing and the wrong somebody, and I see things escalate out of control, and then when it gets back, well, you were in the room. No. Mm-mm. Think about your words carefully before you speak them. Think about your words carefully before you speak them. Be careful and be aware of the time when you speak those words. Know who you're around. Know what time it is. Know if it's appropriate. Know if it's inappropriate. Be still and know, first of all, that God is who He is. Be mindful of how others are responding to you. That's a clear indicator of whether or not you're talking too much. When people get real silent and start to let you just keep talking, be correct. That's right, Trina. Let no corrupt communication come out of your mouth. None, not any at all. Become friends with silence. The hardest thing for us to do as we close and get out of here is to be quiet. Since we started on this journey, I have tried to impress upon you the great reward of silence. And it's hard. Being silent is hard, because it means you have to stop doing something, and that means you have to stop talking. So it's not easy. It's not easy being silent. But guess what? God requires us to be silent. He requires us to speak only when He has instructed us to speak. That means that we have to be still and hear the voice of God. The information for today is that I will only speak when I have heard. Heard who? God. God is in you because God is with you. Let Him guide every slither of your tongue, every word that comes out of your mouth, every intent behind every word. Stop answering what you have not been asked, not telling what you have been told not to tell. God does not like gossips. He's not pleased. This is Dr. Vern. Study to be quiet. Study to be quiet. Know that God loves obedience. If Moses, when he went to that rock, we can go on and on and on. Study to be quiet and not moved because you're in a situation. Amen. God bless you. This is Dr. Vern. Send those questions. I got questions coming that we're going to address on next week, and we're going to address our new season. Share with somebody and let them know that we are here. Let them know that we're here. And for any of you who want to invest in yourself, I am here. I am capable and licensed to do all that God has called me to do in terms of your care, in terms of your therapy. Invest in yourself. Invest in yourself. Some of you need career development. Some of you just need to have a roadmap, help you to build a roadmap. It's not something that you stay in forever, but you just may need some assistance. I'm available to you. Let everybody know that I'm still here. I've been here. I ain't going nowhere. I didn't say anywhere, Elder. I said I ain't going nowhere. Talk to you later and have a blessed weekend. Bye, guys. Love you.